Hey, this is your host, Anthony Tank Mansfield. With me today is,
Jeremy Johnston.
and this is What You Into.
What you into? What you into?
All right, back here in the basement, and January so far, it's been okay so far. Jeremy? How's January been for you?
It's been half a month. I don't know. It's going fine.
It's got ups and downs, man. I don't know. This is the time of year I don't like living in Ohio. Is in the middle of winter. Like,
Yeah.
the holidays are gone. The lights have been taken down. Now we just live in the dark and it's fucking cold.
Watching the NFL playoffs and like seeing the difference between like the teams that got to play in Texas and the teams that had to play like in Buffalo. I'm like, we could just live there and it'd be like that right now. It'd be great.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. The whole thing. Did you see the Chiefs game where it was so cold that Mahomes' helmet busted?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it's crazy. Listener, we're not here to talk about any of that,
Right.
but what we are here to talk about today is indie filmmaking. Jeremy Johnston, thank you, dude, for coming on the show. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. That took a weird turn. I was like, I'm going to cut this off, and all of a sudden,
No, it's fine.
Damn it.
No, it's cool.
All right.
You said we were going to talk about stuff we weren't going to talk about, and so I brought up a topic we weren't going to talk about.
You know what the thing is in the preamble before the show, because we were talking about this before, like very serious, like, here's the way this is all going to work. I forget to mention that there's going to be parts where like it's just going to take random side pass.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Or are you telling the listeners that?
I'm telling, you know what? I might be telling myself this at this point.
Look, I know the playoffs are a sore subject for you because you're a Browns fan, so we'll move on. It's fine. Let's talk about a sore subject for me, stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Was that a good segue?
It was a good segue. It was solid. We skipped right through the plugs. We got right
cut
into
it. That's good.
timestamp it.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about stand-up comedy. So, dude, like, how do you see where you're doing, like, what you're doing now compared to when you started? Because you've been in this for a while now. Like, I've followed you for years. What's the difference in your game?
Yeah, I tell you to stop doing that. But no, I don't know. I feel like I've gotten worse somehow, but I have issues. I don't know. I'm trying to work through it. Comedy's weird. What can I say? The landscape is all different. Because when I started, I also just might be an idiot. Like when I started, I just liked comedy, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna write jokes and do comedy because, like, I'd make funny films and I would do things in school, but I never knew that you could like just go do stand up. Like I didn't understand that you can just sign up for open mics and do it, and I wish people didn't understand it now, but they know how to do it, and so I don't know. And then I just was doing it, and now it's all like, no, now you got to be into social media. Now you got to network. You got to be friends with everybody. And everyone, it's just like, it's all like political and weird. You got to be like, I don't know. It's like not who I'm capable of being, I don't think. Like, there's a lot of niceties. What do you call it? It's like fake. There's a lot of fakeness.
Yeah.
And a lot of like weird,
like projecting an image that maybe this isn't what you really are, but this is what you're trying to be.
And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. Like,
yeah.
And like, one guy's like, yeah, you're my best friend, and then he turns around, he's like, I fucking hate that guy. It's like, and I'm like, what? Like, I'm so confused. Like, it's.
Yeah. Also, like, I just don't think I'm that cool, and so I also have like a hard time being like, check out how cool I am online. I'm very cool. Look at how cool I don't know how to do that.
But another comic told me, because I was asking about like what this property was anymore. Just today, actually. I don't know if I should say the name of it, but because I was like, it used to be like a really cool thing when I was a kid, and now the stuff they put up, I'm like, I don't even know where it's coming from. They're not a thing barely anymore. And they were like, yeah, they just pick whoever dresses the coolest. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That, like, if you told me that, it would make perfect sense.
With all this like happening right now, does this make you want to write more or less?
Write more. I always want to write more, because I just like writing jokes. But I think that's what the only thing that puts me off writing is I hate when I write and it's just bad, and then it's internal. But like, I always want to write more because I always like just creating stuff, and it always feels so good when you have like a new bit that you're just like, wow, I did it again. Like, because every time you write a good bit, sometimes I get worried, like, am I ever going to top that bit? Is there ever going to be another bit that's going to be as good as that one? And when you can do that, it feels really good. And I don't actually care about all the other stuff. I just wish I knew how to do it just because I like to do it more, you know?
Yeah, and I think like if you create a bit, I think inevitably you'll probably end up creating a better bit. You know, just it's because it would be the evolution of your voice and what you're trying to say. Like what is good now? Maybe I don't know. I mean, maybe in some way it's like writing a hit song, but I think
Yeah.
that you would have more than just that one thing that one time.
Well, I don't know how to explain this. Well, I guess it's kind of like
Please do.
when I meant like I felt like I got worse. I think it was because when I started, I just had a pure like comedic mind. Like I was just focused purely on like what I think is funny, jokes, this, and then like once you kind of get ingrained, you start to think like, well, this person's gonna be at that show. What are they gonna think? And what are these? And then it's like things are in your mind that were never in your mind before, and it makes things feel kind of different. And I don't know. I wish I had blocked that out earlier because kind of like not giving a fuck is always what when I did well, and then every time I do it, I continue to see like the results I want. So I'm like, why did I ever get wrapped up in like that? It has nothing to do with comedy. It's just
Just
being
just
yeah.
wiring, just things where it's just like in my head, this is the way this is, and
Right.
then
Yeah.
and then no, it's like yeah, it doesn't have to be that.
That's why, like, because open mic comics will come and say wild stuff, and we're like, "Whoa, you can't, you shouldn't." But they only do that because there's no expectation, and that's why like I mentioned earlier, like it's weird to me now that like some comics that start out, I hear them go like, "Yeah, I try to be offensive." I'm like, "You try to be offensive?" That's a weird way to start, but like if you're just starting because you want to write jokes and be funny, you have no really like filter on that or like intrusive what do you call it, like intrusive thoughts of like, because then once you get like, I feel like this all sounds really stupid.
No,
It's got to be some kind of parallel in the art community where peers and things come into play that are outside of just the actual pure art of it. I don't know.
yeah, I mean politics, sure. I mean that exists in everything.
Yeah.
You know, there's always a thing where you know you got to work inside an ecosystem of.
Right.
Yeah. What what about with like doing stand up, like not just on the writing end of it, but like people being allowed to shows, hecklers, like how do you deal with that? Like that would drive me insane if I was like trying to talk and all of a sudden somebody just started screaming in the middle of me talking.
It it was crazy, but I feel like it's something you just kind of like get used to, because like I mean, it still bothers me, especially when it steps on a punchline. Like, oh, sometimes they'll get you right before you're about to hit like a line, and you're like you threw off the rhythm. But like, I don't. I feel like it's a lot easier to handle, and that just comes with like doing it more. But I do feel like it is the most stepped on. I don't know if you'd call it art or a craft, but like it does feel like the most what do you call it? Not heckler friendly, but like invites people to like heckle more than like live music or
Yeah, or even like a theater thing. Like
Yeah.
I can't really ever think of being at any type of, theater show where people in the crowd started yelling at the people on the stage. Like I've definitely heard people talking at a theater show, but not at the actual performers.
even that improv story. I don't know if I should bring that up but we didn't yell.
Yeah.
We sat and we were like, what the? But we didn't, no one's going to yell out at a show usually. I think it's because it's just one guy. Maybe they feel they can
They feel like
yell
it's
at
like
you. But even once you have an improv group and you got like 3 people, they're like, I don't know if I could take all 3. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is.
they're playing the numbers. They're like Street Fighter situation 1-on-1. I'm feeling pretty good. Final fight 1-on-3. I don't know. Like maybe not.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, they could just make up stuff on the spot and kick your ass. So,
It's true. Would be kind of cool if you beat up 3 dudes at once, and then you got that story for the rest of your life.
Right.
That time that you fucking John Wicked a room full of dudes.
yeah, but the heckler's never that cool, dude. It's always some guy that everyone's like, I don't know. A lot of times I just feel bad for the person because they're in a bad spot. Usually.
Is it just kind of the same like stock shit every time, where it's just somebody just yells something dumb, and you're just like, all right, I can definitely just use this against this person.
Well, there's different breeds. I mean, because there's like hateful people, but then
Okay.
there's people that genuinely, I think, are just having too good a time
Okay.
and want to be part of the show, or like think they're funny and think this line they have is good. Like, I mean, like we all started, not all, but like if you were like a class clown, how did you get your laughs? You were interrupting class. You know what I mean? So like, I think some of them come from a genuine place of like, I want to be the class clown, but you're at like a comedy show.
Right.
So it's a little different environment.
Right. Yeah. And also, I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
Like, the person with the microphone, with the lights pointed at them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done shows like right before COVID. I did a show at this brewery in Aurora, Indiana called Great Crescent. I don't know if are they still around?
I don't know.
All right. Well, it was a great show. They like sold it out. It was packed. It was a lot of fun. I did like a 25 to 30 minute set, and it was a great show. But there was one guy in the front that wanted to chime in on like almost every line, and I just started making fun of him. And it was like, and it was still like really fun, and it was funny. And I thought he hated, like I thought he was gonna be like, he was like built, and I was like, this guy's gonna beat my ass after the show, so I gotta kind of hide or whatever. And he just comes up to me after the show. He's like, "Man, that was so awesome. I'm glad that I could help make the." And I'm like, "What? No, that was annoying." What you did." And he thought he's like, "No, it was great. I said something and you made fun of me." And I'm like, "No, I don't want you to think that what you're doing is good. It was good right now. Like, yeah, it got laughs, but that doesn't mean that like you should do that.
We're not taking this on the road.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
We're not a tag team act now where I plant you in the crowd at every
Exactly.
show.
But I thought that guy was going to kick my ass, and I talked to him after the show. He loved it, but he just wanted to be part of it. And it was like hard to like hate him after I was like, "Hey, don't do that," but like we're cool,
People want to be part of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Why the hateful people? Why? I never understand that. People that get mad at a comedy show.
that I don't know either, because you paid to be there for the most part. Like, I mean, there are shows, there are quite a few shows, usually in like a bar, where it'll be like, "Hey, we got a comedy show starting," and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Like, there's so many ambush shows, and you're like, you'll get booked on a show, you'll be like, "Yeah," and then you show up, and you're like, "Oh, these people don't know we're about to."
They
do
had
a
no
show."
clue this was
They had
happening
no
tonight.
clue. They just wanted to go out and like get drunk and not deal with this. Like, I don't know. We did a show at this place called the Fairfield Pub in Fairfield, Ohio, my hometown.
Okay.
And a lady at the bar she wasn't even in the show. Like, they had like a showroom, but it wasn't like physically disconnected. Like,
Yeah.
it was a separate room, but it was still like you could hear it in the bar.
I've been to that bar. Yeah, it's a big weird room.
And this lady just was yelling at everyone like, "I hope you die." Just like the worst stuff, like really mean.
Just not being a fan.
And then it was the funniest moment because I walked behind the bar at one point when someone else was on stage, and the bartender goes, "Hey, I don't know, hey Shirley, you need more cheese curls?" And she goes, "Fuck no, this show's pissing me off so much, I'm about to go home." And I was like, okay, that's weird. And then next thing I know, she just passed out on the bar and fell asleep. She slept through because the headliner didn't get heckled. I was like, "Hey, why didn't that lady yell at you?" And we were like, "Oh, she's sleeping." Like she was on the bar asleep. And then this guy from Fairfield that a friend of mine came to the show, and he was like, "That was my high school therapist." And I was like, "What the?" And then someone told me that teachers are like notorious drunks, which I didn't know that was a thing. But
I mean, think about what these people are putting up with all day.
true, I get it, but I just didn't put it together until someone told me. I was like, "Oh, now I get it."
Yeah. Yeah.
I just thought you would like lose your job if you.
It's a dangerous game to play. If I've definitely met some teachers in my day that party. I will say this. I will say teachers are fun people to hang out with off the clock. Most of them are pretty good about minding their P's and Q's, but there's a few out there that, yeah, they go hard.
Yeah. I just assume like, yeah, I don't know. I just assume it was Friday night. It wasn't even Saturday. It wasn't even that far removed from the school day. I just assume if you like pass out at the bar, you don't get to have that job anymore. I don't know. I just assume like, hey, you can't tell kids what to do. I don't know.
You can't come in here smelling like chalk. Like you can't do that, like chalk dust, and expect us not to. The kids, they're gonna smell the booze on you tomorrow or next week when you go. You're a bad example, lady.
Right.
Yeah. No, I remember when I was in college for when I went for education, and one of the things they told us was like, if you're at a wedding, like if you're holding a beer or like glass of wine, like, put it down or put it behind somebody. Like, don't have pictures on the internet where you're drinking.
Yeah.
Because it's like teachers, like, gotta be on the straight and narrow on some level.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. So, but then if you're a college professor, it's like, that's fine, whatever.
Well, it's like my girlfriend works at a school, but she's not like a teacher, but she works for the school district. So she has not a fake, but like a different Facebook profile that like uses her real name, and then a Facebook profile that's like her comedian name or like.
Yeah, keep them separate.
Yeah, and so I mean, I feel like a lot of people do that. Where like,
yeah,
if you could find their real profile, they're probably posting all kinds of wild.
Yeah, well, yeah, you gotta. Who would ever do a thing like that? I used to, at least. Now it's just like,
I always heard you were the cool teacher, though.
I tried, but is there really such thing as a cool teacher? Especially if you're a kid that's being a bad kid.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
I don't know. No, I would say try to be
teachers that usually everyone thinks is cool ends up getting fired for like being inappropriate with the students. So there is a line for sure.
Oh shit, man. Well, look, let's talk about indie filmmaking, man. Like, so first question, like, why? Like, why do you want to make films?
I don't know, man. That's a good question.
Well, because
it's hard to explain.
Well,
it's just like
let me put it to you like this: I've always loved movies. I'm a big fan. I have tons of them. I got stuff from movies tattooed on me. Big fan. Never once ever been like, you know what? I need to get behind a camera. I need to tell my story. Like I've never had the urge to do that jump. You did. Like, what made you want to take the step?
Well, I think it like. I don't know, man. It's like, because like I was thinking like first like when I come on here I was like, well, I could talk about how much I like this movie or how much I like this movie or this director, but I was like, I don't know that much about him. But I was like, I'm obsessed with. It's not even just filming, but it's like indie filmmaking because like just people making. It's such like knowing how much work goes into like making a full length movie, and then seeing like people do it. When they shouldn't have succeeded just is really cool to me. I don't know. It's like a pretty remarkable thing. I don't think people understand, like people will trash a movie like that movie sucks. This movie sucks. But it's like, I don't think you understand how hard it is to even complete one. Like it's an insane process. And, I'm also just about not being about money. So like finding movies that were done on the cheap is like really interesting to me because you hear about like, oh, this movie cost 200 million to make, and it's like, okay, but this movie cost 10 grand to make, and it's more entertaining. You know, like I don't know. I just find that really interesting.
What do you have a indie movie that was the first one where you were like, this, I like this, like it drew you in? Because I got to figure like you were on a mainstream track at some point. There must have been
Oh
something
yeah.
where it made you go left to center.
So, I mean, I don't know. Like, so I just like, I was obsessed with Jim Carrey when I was a kid. Like, I saw Ace Ventura and I would act it out all the time, like to annoying levels. Like, and then like, we saw like Home Alone, and me and my friends would try to set traps. Like, we would imitate movies all the time. But then, like, once I got a hold of like a camera, we would just film goofy stuff, and then I just became obsessed with like filming stuff. Like for every project, I was like, "Can I film it?" Like it was like a thing, and like I even remember like I used to edit using like 2 VCRs. Like I would take the VCR from my mom's bedroom, and hook it up to the TV with the one we had downstairs, and then you would play the tape, record on the other tape, cut, and then like just edit VHS tape to VHS tape. And it was, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. And then I just kind of became enamored with doing it. I also want to say I've worked on feature film, never made a feature film. I'm just fascinated by it, but I'd like to, that's my goal, I think, is to
Well,
do one at some point.
that would be super cool. Like what? So getting into like when you were just starting like doing stuff where you're splicing up stuff and working off different VCRs, like what was the content that you were making? Like were you making like 5-minute shorts, 10-minute shorts, like 20-minute things? Like what were you putting together?
Just like, yeah, little skits and compiling them. I tried to, I mean, I remember the first time in, I think like middle or high school, I shot like a longer, it was probably like a 7-minute film thing. That was just a series of jokes, but I like weaved it into a story sort of. And I don't know. And then like, it was like the 90s, and I was kind of like late to it because it was like the early 2000s when I realized like, oh, people are shooting movies on these like digital cameras, and they're playing in theaters, and they're mainstream. Like I brought a couple to show as examples. I know you can't see them, but like you've probably seen this movie, I assume.
Yes, 28 Days Later. Excellent movie.
This was shot on a camera called the Canon XL1, which you could probably buy for like $150 right now.
Really?
It's insane. At the time, though, it was probably only $5,000. And I feel weird because, like, when I watch this, I don't remember the visual quality of 28 Days Later. I just remember that was a good movie.
Yeah.
And then you watch it now, and you're like, oh, yeah, this was shot on a SD, like standard definition video camera. And it's just, it blows my mind how big this movie was.
And at the time it didn't matter, you know, because just like where TVs were at that time, theaters and stuff, it was just like, you don't need this in high def, you know. And then it comes out and it's like, oh, okay.
You can see it now, but it's still a good movie. But
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. Even in theaters, there was something magical about this standard definition period of cameras when they started. This is going to get really technical. So most of this started because I told you, like, well, there's one thing I became obsessed with. It was like video cameras. It was because like, so they made these mini DV cameras after like high 8, digital 8. Sony had like a digital 8 thing. They made these like mini DV cameras, which was a digital video, mini tapes, like these tapes. And they started making these cameras that had 3 CCDs, which I feel dumb because now I don't remember what CCD stands for. But normally, like your camcorder at home has like 1 CCD, and it collects all the colors. It's like the sensor thing. So they started making these video cameras that have 3 CCDs, 1 for each color: red, green, blue. And so it would produce like a better image overall. And that's when people really started going like, oh, I could shoot a feature film on this and a fraction of the cost of like a Hollywood movie. And I think that's what really got me interested because it made it more accessible. I was like, it's like how I feel about stand up. It's like, oh, this is great. I can do this. Oh, this is a problem. Everyone could do this. You know?
Yeah, it is. It is definitely one of those things where any field of creation, especially now, like it's flooded with people because so many people have the tools now to do it. Which at one time people didn't. Like it was rare to be able to get a hold of a camera,
Right.
you know, especially anything of like a higher quality. Just because where would you find it at on the market? And now in the world we live in now with technology and also just you can order shit from anywhere in the world online. Yeah, get whatever you need if you got the money for it.
Well, the thing that helps indie filmmakers too is that Hollywood is so slow to adopt any kind of new technology or new thing.
Hollywood wants what is working.
Right.
And that's why there's Marvel movie after Marvel after Marvel movie because it's making money. It's finally not. But, you know, now it's like, what do they pivot to next? Because for over a decade, they were able to just, you know, release things that they knew were going to be a hit. Just release big dumb action movies on IMAX screens and people will eat it up. And that's coming to an end.
Right. And, well, is it?
You know what?
I
I
think
will
we are
always
getting
want to go see
superhero
big dumb
fatigue,
movies. Yes.
But the people aren't going to see the truly original movies either. So I don't know if they're going to totally jump ship on the known intellectual properties. Like they're going to make Top Gun 3 because they already killed it with
how
Top
can
Gun
they
2.
how can they not make
I
Top
know.
Gun 3?
But
What do you want to
that's a bad
see? What do you
example.
want to see him fly in that?
I don't know. I got to watch the first two. I'm bad. I haven't seen
All right. Well, you know
For being a
what?
film nerd, I haven't seen some of the most tentpole mainstream movies, and I lie about it. I don't lie, but it's like one of the easiest lies I'll get caught up in is I don't want to feel left out. So I go, yeah, I've seen it, and then go like, hey, you remember that one part? I go, yeah, I think. Oh yeah, that's okay.
I heard about it. Yeah, I saw it. Whatever. Yeah.
But now I'm trying to be more honest and just be like, no, I haven't. Okay, I haven't seen it.
It's fun to drop it on people when you hit them with something where everybody culturally has seen it, and then when you're the outlier, it blows their minds. I was that way forever with The Princess Bride. Like I didn't watch it till I think last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm like 43.
What
So
about, I feel like everyone's seen E.T.
yes,
Okay. I have not met
it's
anyone
been
who's like
it's been
E.T..
forever, but I saw. I mean, well, you're a child. You didn't have a choice.
Right. I feel like that's just a movie that everyone saw.
Yeah, at that time, it was like, look, everybody loves this little alien. He's part of America now, and everybody saw him. Yeah.
But my point, so what I was gonna say is like even like okay, so like take like the 80s. I think it was the 80s. Well, this is a video podcast, so I can take my hat off. The 80s, when VHS first became a thing, Hollywood was like, "No, are you crazy? We don't want to put our movies on home videotape and let people own. They get to own the movie. We don't want that." And so anyone who could scrounge up investors to make a movie made bank putting it on videotapes because places need video. Like stores bought up videotapes. They had maybe rental. I don't know if they had rental places. I think that started back then. But like
In the 80s? Yeah.
yeah, I mean like there was a huge market for videotapes, and then Hollywood finally saw like, oh shit, they're making a ton of money off this. We've got to get our movies on videotape, and it's like that's when indie filmmakers thrive is the adopting the new, because Hollywood will not do that.
Yeah. It's hard for large institutions to pivot. Like they just don't know how. It's just like, nope, this has worked. I'm gonna keep doing this, and then it's like it's not working now, and it's like, nope, gonna keep doing it until like they finally wreck it, and they got to figure out that okay, we have to make some kind of shift.
Yeah.
You know, and it's forced upon it. Let me ask you this: like, what is it like working on a movie? Like, I've never done this. Like, how does any of this work? Like, how do you know when to show up? How do you know how long it is? How does any of this work?
You have an idea of how long it is, and it's never that long. It's usually longer.
Okay.
And it's a lot of sitting around.
Really?
Yeah, it's not as it's like the term "hurry up and wait" sort of thing. It applies a lot to that. I feel like, And it's also very annoying because when you work on small productions, people are very gung ho about working on a film set. They're like, "Yeah, I watch movies all the time. What, an hour and a half?" And then they show up and they're like, "Oh no, this is like an all day
Yeah.
thing. Oh, multiple days. Oh no, I can't do this." And so I feel like some people's concept is a little off, but like I don't know. It's very like not active, but then once it is active, it's very active, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean I get that. Like you set up for the thing and then the thing happens, but to make the thing happen, there has to be setup.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, people don't get that. People don't get that. People think that everything is done quickly because everybody's being, especially now, been conditioned through like Instagram reels and TikTok that everything exists in like a 15 to 30-second
Yeah.
space, and something that does take hours to do is just like boom, instantaneously done. And it's like that's not how that works. Like it takes a while to build shit. It takes time to craft shit. It just doesn't instantly come together.
Right. Yeah. I mean, same with stand up. Like some of the jokes that you love, it took those comics like months or even years to get it to where it was. It didn't just come out like that. You know, it's crazy how long someone can work on something and they're like, that was a good 30 seconds, you know?
How like so what do you have to do on set? Like are you involved with like moving equipment around? Like are you involved with like hauling stuff? Like have you done multiple roles? Like what do you
Just
do?
multiple role. I've kind of just done whatever. I mean, I've done movies where I've been like the boom guy, or I was like I was on one set all day where I was just a background extra in like two scenes, and you just kind of hang out all day, and then when it's time to shoot, you get up and go. I've been like AC, like assistant camera, and yeah, it's hard because like there's a lot of moving parts, and it's easy to overlook something if you have one guy trying to do multiple stuff. But on a lot of indie projects, you
How can
don't
you
have
not?
the full
Yeah.
extent of the crew, so it's a lot of just doing like dummy checks, crossing your like just really organizational stuff that I'm usually bad at, but on a film set I feel like I'm more focused because I like have like a passion for it.
You're like this has to be here to make the thing I want to have
Yeah.
happen. Yeah, I get that. I get to be dialed in to be like, we need to make sure we have all this shit because we will use all this shit. You know? Yeah. And sometimes it's hard to trust that other people will do that, you know? But you need people's help.
I mean, like one of the like when I first started, I would have all these like cool creative shots, like because I went to college for this. But like I think like the first day when we had to go out and shoot stuff, I think the instructor was like, all these shots are really cool. That's a great shot. I like that. Look at the way you captured that. But also, you have like this in the background of your shot. This is here. And I was like, oh yeah, I was just focusing on like the thing I wanted to capture and not like, there's a difference between like looking through your eye and then like looking through what a camera sees. Cause the camera will just see everything that's, in the frame.
Yes.
But sometimes with your eyes, you're like, that's really cool. And you're just focused on the one thing.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds like day one stuff and it kind of was, but it was something I kind of had to learn. Cause then I started seeing like, oh, you have to look at the whole picture.
I'm a big rule of thirds guy. Like looking through something and like on cameras with the 9 squares and then just being able to be like, all right, what's filling the most of this? All right, cool. This is the focal point. Like this is what I'm looking at. And looking through a camera is so different than looking just in real life.
Yeah.
Because the way you see the world is not the way a camera sees the world.
Right.
Yeah. And it's a tool that you can manipulate and use to, actually make the world look really fucking cool.
It is, yeah, exactly. I don't know you nailed it.
Well, yeah, man. It's just that's the thing, man. I definitely have like respect for what you're doing because it's not easy to do, and I couldn't imagine like something like doing doing a film. Like to me, I couldn't imagine doing it. Like because it is just it's such a team effort, and like the whole idea of like just writing a story. Like how do you come up with like how do you sit down and write something and be like, all right, this needs to be turned into a thing where we're gonna bust out cameras and fucking shoot it.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think a lot of bad art breeds good art. I think good art breeds good art, but I think a lot of bad art helps because that's what motivates me usually. Is I'm like, this guy was able to convince people to work on this. I could convince someone to work on this because I actually believe in this, so it's got to be okay.
This piece of shit, I'm better than
Because
this.
I hate everything I do, and that's why it was easier to do stand up because I still hate that, but it's just me and no one's stopping me from doing it. But like, I'm very, awkward. Like, it's terrifying to even talk to you on this podcast. And so, like, I gotta convince all these people to go along with my vision. Like, that's a tough ask for me. Like, even when I get someone on board with this, like a sketch idea, I'm always like, God, I hope they don't hate it. And luckily, that hasn't happened yet. But
it seems very first date energy over and over again.
Yeah.
Where it's just like I'm gonna take a swing and see what happens, but I'm ready for this not to work out at all.
right. So that's why, like, I have so much respect for anyone that's made one. Because I also went into this with the concept, like, so I would help out other people on their movies, thinking like, oh, well, if, I help out them on their movie, then all these people are going to want to help me make my movie. And it's like, no, they're going to go make other movies and do other, and like, no, you're on your own, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that was an interesting lesson. And, like, I guess my main frustration, this is kind of off topic, I guess, but like continuity is a big one.
Yeah.
That's hard to do when I'm like just shooting sketches.
Do you mean continuity in terms of like lining up scenes, or are you talking about just the setup for it?
Just setting up when you're not using, like, when you need to get the same shot from a different angle, or like close up versus a wide.
Yeah.
You're like, no, just do it how you did it the first time.
Yeah.
They never do it the way they did the first time. And you try to like edit it and you're always like, oh, I could tell it's different. But, and this is what I'm really anal about it now because I drive myself crazy. Like, they're going to know this was cut from, and I don't know why I do that to myself. We watched Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh yeah, we recently watched that.
So I sat with this the whole movie almost. And then as soon as it ended, I went to my girlfriend. I was like, we got to rewind this. I rewind it back to a scene, and I was like, see that? And there's a jarring edit where it shows the back of the Molly Burkhart character, the Native American woman that's one of the main characters. Mm-hmm. And she's talking to her mom. And in the scene, you see her start to get up, but then it cuts to like the front face of her, and she's still down, and then she gets up. And she didn't even catch it. And I was like, I saw it immediately and I held it for the whole movie. I was like, I got to go back and make sure I'm not crazy. Because like, and then when you see, it's like in big movies.
Right.
And you're like, they're okay.
Yeah.
Why am I freaking out about it?
And of course, it's like, it's the people like you who are looking for it that are like trained to see it.
But I wasn't even trying. It hit me because I've edited so many videos and it drove me crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, yeah, you have that eye that like, I wouldn't catch that, but you did. You're just like, hold on, right
but for
there.
some reason, when it's on like a very professional looking medium, like 35 millimeter film or whatever they shot it in, I'm not sure, but for some reason it's like, oh well, it's a more forgivable mistake than this guy that clearly shot this on some video camera at his house. Like, because I feel like when you shoot on like a amateur, because you can make like, that's all these movies I brought movies just to show you because I didn't know if this would be video or not, but I thought I'd tell you. These were all shot on like very attainable cameras that any of us could buy tomorrow for very cheap.
What is in the stack right there?
So this movie is called Lonesome Jim.
Okay.
It stars Casey Affleck and Liv Tyler. It was written and directed. Oh no, it was directed by Steve Buscemi.
Okay.
Y'all know who that is. It was written by some guy named James C. Strauss. Shot on a camera that you could buy for $200 right now.
What?
And it's very good.
Nice.
And it works. There's a scene in this movie that I was like, wow, that was a really interesting choice, and it worked. And then I watched this movie with the commentary. And like, yeah, the camera guy accidentally hit the zoom button, and then we thought we had to do it over. But then I watched it, and I was like, that's actually kind of interesting. So we just put it in the movie. It was a complete accident.
That's
Which
awesome.
is weird that it works.
But
Because you're watching
you're right.
people you trust, I guess. Because I'm like, if I did it, they'd be like, who's this dork? He doesn't even know how to run the camera. He's hitting zoom in the middle of a sex scene or something. And it's just like,
In this movie, it works. Sometimes it happens, man. Sometimes people they break the rules and it works.
yeah,
But you got to be good to break the rules. You got to understand the rules to break the rules.
true. I do agree with that. This one is the one that really opened my eyes and amped me up. It's called The Puffy Chair.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
No. What is the puffy chair?
It's
Wait, hold on. Is this gonna be something serious? Am I laughing at something where somebody dies?
it's not.
Okay.
Sad.
All right. Phew. I was just making sure it wasn't this thing where it's like, well, it's about a children's cancer ward. It's like, great, awesome. This is not what I wanted.
Yeah, you get to go sit on a puffy chair when you die.
But John
up in
Cena's
the
there. He's
clouds.
like, hey, what's going on, buddy? Sit on the puffy chair.
No, it is. It's the Duplass brothers. They're pretty big now. Mark Duplass, he's in a bunch of stuff.
No,
Now I'm blanking on what he's in. He's in everything.
Okay.
He's in that new show, The Morning Show. He was in The League, which was a show.
Oh, I like
He's got
The League.
movies all over. I'm trying to think
wh-
what movies he's in.
which guy was he on the league? Was he like the main guy, the brown haired guy?
Don't they all have brown hair?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of them. Man, I haven't watched that show in a while. He wasn't John LaJoie, and he wasn't Nick Kroll, and he wasn't Steve Ranazizi.
Okay. Yeah.
So that one.
And thank you. Thank you.
But they shot this movie on a Panasonic DVX 100, which was the creme de la creme of digital cameras at the time before HD became a thing.
Okay.
But they didn't even shoot this. It's a movie in the sense that it's a narrative film. It's not a documentary, but they almost shot it like it was a documentary, and it works. And I don't understand it. But when I saw it, I was like, whoa. You could make a movie for nothing and it can work. Because this didn't have stars. It didn't have like big name actors. They were nobodies when they did this. Like they've directed big movies since, but like it really just opened my eyes because like it has like the shoddiest camera work. Like the guy will walk outside across the street and they'll zoom in on zoom in the middle of a shot, which you don't normally see. They'll usually like dolly or you don't ever just see someone like zoom in on a video camera, but like it just works. And it's not like a found footage because like you can kind of get away with it with that if you like,
Yeah.
oh, it's a found footage movie, so we're shooting it that style. They shot like a legit movie on the cheap, and it works because it's just a good story and the characters are interesting and they fucking nail it. And it just made me really realize like, wow, if you have something good, you could really just do this. And now they got careers, and it really took off for them.
I think sometimes people miss the point of doing something different looking, like doing something that looks outside the standard def the way the world normally is, because when you do that, you stand out because you're a unicorn. Like I think about that with video games, with stuff like when Borderlands first came out, and it looked like nothing else that was out there. Where like everything else was like, we're trying to look as realistic as possible. And then Borderlands, like this entire game is cell shaded graphics, and it's just you fucking up all sorts of marauders and cannibals and all sorts of crazy alien shit. You know, and it works. Like it's melding this cartoon world with hyperviolence.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sticks out because it's different. So in seeing films like that, where it's like they look so much different from what you're used to, it's like, oh, hold on a second, let me take a look at this. Like let me watch this because I'm interested. I think like Parasite did a good job with that. Like it was so different from anything I'd ever seen. I was like within like the first 5-10 minutes, I'm like, hold on now, there's a story. I'm locked in. This is so different from anything I'm used to.
Speaking of video games, have you played Hotline Miami?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Wait, is that like, was that like a weird GTA thing? Like it wasn't GTA, but it was sort of like it. And it was like an over the top, like drug cartel game where you like shot
it's
people.
over the top drug cartel,
Yeah.
but it looks like an NES style game, but they could have never made it, but it looks like it's on that
Yeah,
level.
yeah.
So everyone's like, the game is the most addictive game I ever played.
Really?
I'm obsessed with it. I bought the comic book. It's so fun, and it's something that just you don't. It was so out of the norm of like I feel like the games that were all coming out, and then I was like, I want to play this NES looking 8-bit looking game that's very violent, but it was so fun. But I also like platformers a lot, and it's kind of like it's top down, but it's you busting into buildings and killing a bunch of like mobsters and
Yeah.
stuff. But it's like, man, it's so addictive. If
Uh,
you get a chance to check it out, I recommend it.
I like that. I want to try that. Have you played Broforce?
No.
Broforce is that's why they say it. So I'm sorry, Broforce. I didn't mean to disrespect you the first time I said your name by not saying it properly. But the whole game is set up like an NES game, and you play as different bros, and you play as like RoboCop and. You play as Commando, you play as the Terminator, you play as like all these different badasses from 80s movies. Van Damme shows up and you just run around and like you kill all sorts of like enemy dudes that range from like South American terrorists to like aliens and eventually demons. You know, you had to broforce the world.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah.
What's that on?
It's on. I got it through the PlayStation market.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a PS4. I don't have the new one like you, but I'll check it out.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, all right. So let's get back from the storytelling of these incredible video games that have a deep, deep story. Let's talk about the storytelling of you on set. What is like what is the cons of like making a movie? Like what is the downsides of it? Like what is the shit where you're like, man, I know I want to make this, but fuck, this sucks.
I think just people, permits, all the things that get into the public. I mean, it's all the P's, I guess. People's permits, the public. It's rough. Like, I don't know. That's why, like, so I like wrote a script over COVID, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I think it needs a little work, but I was like, I'm gonna write something that's entertaining and that I can do on my own without like having to shut down city streets or needing big action scenes or needing, it's like, what do I have available to me? What can I use? What, like, no big special effects necessarily. And, but yeah, I think the hardest thing is just like going anywhere in public when you're filming on a no budget situation is the hardest just because people see a camera. I mean, now everybody's got phones. Maybe it is a little different, but like, anytime you go with a camera, people like want to photobomb you or go like, "Hey, what are you doing? Oh, are you filming something?" Like, and just getting permission to do things it's a lot of hoops. That's why I just film sketches in my house with other comics.
Yeah, that seems a lot more easier to control and deal with. I remember working downtown. I used to work in Crew Tower across from Fountain Square, and I remember there would be occasionally like movie trucks down there and stuff, and they'd be shooting stuff down there. It's just like, oh man, like this does not look fun. Like this looks like something I not want to deal with because like constantly people just walk by like, are you guys doing a movie? What are you shooting?
Everyone wants to...
or like heckling, being like, hey, is like whoever was like the person down, like Emilio Estevez, something like, hey, is Estevez in there? Like, what's going on?
That's the other beauty of shooting on a digital camera that you can buy, because then people go, oh, they're just filming it. But like they see like a bigger camera, or they're like, oh, that's important. I got to go mess that up, or like I got to go interrupt, and it's back to the heckler thing, I guess. I don't know. People are just drawn to the thing if they think it's important. I don't know.
What about I
wouldn't say it's not worth it to make a movie. It's not worth it to make a movie if you're making the Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah.
You know that story, but that was not worth it.
Wait, what was the Twilight Zone story?
You don't know the Twilight Zone movie story?
No. Wait, is that the one where the guy died?
Yeah, and the kid.
Oh,
I didn't. Helicopter. They did a scene where this guy was carrying the two kids, and this helicopter crashed and like took him out, and then it was like a whole lawsuit. Like they made him stay after, and they were working the kids outside of child labor laws. Like, yeah, that was not worth doing at all. For that. But as far as like making a movie, I don't know if it's ever not worth it if you get it done. I've definitely been on movies that never came out, and that's a bummer because it was so much work. And then I don't know what happened to it. Whoever was in charge dropped the ball. But there's one thing they say that is like, if you can make a movie for, so this is like my new goal, I guess. So they said if you can make a movie for like $5,000 or less, it's impossible to not make a profit, is what they say. So I'm like, that's like my goal. So I'm like,
Okay.
if I can make a movie for $5,000, it's impossible to not make a profit. I got to be able to convince people to work on it then, right? I don't.
I like this pyramid scheme you're putting together. You're like, look, we got a number. All right. We know if we hit this, we're gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I guess.
Or they say if you don't get your money back, at least, like if you're not making at least $5,000 off a movie, no matter how low budget, like small it is, then you're doing something very, very wrong.
Okay. All right. So now you got to become the Wolf of Wall Street and sensitive artsy camera guy.
Yeah. I'm not going to, no.
No. No.
It's not that hard now, I think. Maybe it is, but. So, like with streaming, that's until it gets taken over by Hollywood again, which it kind of is. But there's outlets now for indie filmmakers to sneak in and get things. Like I've heard good things. Like there's this streaming service called Tubi.
Oh, Tubi's great.
It's very good for filmmakers. I have a lot of friends that have films on there, and they pay well, and I think it's really cool. And yeah, until Hollywood somehow creates a way to shut everyone out of that, that'll be. But yeah, there's avenues now. It's the indie filmmakers always thrive in that pocket where Hollywood's not accepting the thing, and then they just seize it, and then Hollywood sees you can make money from it and tries to take it away. Is kind of what happens.
What's it like being on that side where you do have to like figure out where the money's coming from?
I don't know. I haven't been
Okay.
on that side.
No. I don't mean not the studios, but I mean like when you have to be the person that finances yourself is what I mean. Is like when you're not taking money from a studio, when you're like, no, I'm willing to put my own money into this to make this vision that I want this to be.
Good question. I don't have that in me. I heard target dentists. That's what everyone says. I've read so many books on this. And they make it seem so easy. Like, yeah, just go talk to your local dentist. They got money and they're weird and and I'm like, okay, whatever. And I know, look, I have a friend who's a dentist. He's pretty weird and he has a lot of money. So maybe there's something to that. But
my cousin's married to a dentist. Oh man.
Is he weird and has a lot of money?
Nah, he's pretty normal.
Right. Well,
It's a bummer. Yeah, he's got a nice house. He plays golf. He's doing good.
All right.
Still drinks Natural Light to this day.
Have you ever, I don't know, maybe if you asked him if you wanted to invest some art, maybe he'd be like, yeah, I got money. Not that you need it, but I'm just saying, like, I hear they're the good target for investing in art for some reason. Dentists are the thing to go to, apparently.
Dentist, the great whales. Who will finance this next economy of art.
I believe it because there's a stand-up who's a dentist, and I had to teach him how to use his camera one day. And he's like, yeah, well, I mean, this lens only cost me like $4,000. I'm like, only? Like, I couldn't afford that if I saved up for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And I had to teach him how to use it. And I'm like, yeah, I think dentists just have money and they are willing to put it into stuff maybe. I think there is some there's a reason why everyone says that, because I think over time, dentists have just been a good go-to. But
yeah, well, and it's one of those things where like everybody needs a dentist because nobody wants to have fucked up teeth.
Yeah,
it's like everybody's like, look, I can fix this. Like I can make this so that when I look in the mirror, I'm not like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
yeah. And
they're also the big scam because then they give you a sucker when you leave, so you'll come back.
They know what they're doing. Yeah,
I mean,
no, dentist. Yeah, they know how to do. That's why they got the money. Business always with dentist.
But my whole thing is like, I think what I'm really obsessed with is like how to do something as cheap as possible because I'm a cheap bastard.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Like, that's mostly what I'm obsessed with. I think I'm the only person who's like, when you were like, what are you really into? It's like, I sit at home and I look up equipment for like 6 hours and I read about like different cameras and how much this costs and what the specs are and what this is versus that and what the ups and downs. And it's like, what is this for? I'm not going to ever buy all this stuff. It's just like useless information. And then someone wants to talk about something and I can't retain that information. It's like very weird.
What camera would you get right now if you had your choice?
I mean, if I had a choice, I would get something really good. But like, if you put me on a budget, I could tell you like, well, I'd go for that. But,
what if I give you $10,000? Can that get you anything?
oh, I could get a ton of. Are you kidding me? That's great.
I don't know anything in this world.
No, yeah, I don't know. I'd say like one of the Sonys or the Blackmagic 4K cinema camera I really like, and that's only like $1,200. But that, I mean, it's if you know what you're doing, because the whole thing is now you're dealing with video that shoots raw, so you gotta like color grade it, and that's a whole other skill set of color grading footage. But like, I mean, I don't know about this. I've really gotten into like having a camcorder now because I've never been a guy that films with his phone. Really, I've always had the cheapest phone too.
Okay.
I have the iPhone SE, like, because I don't care about my phone. I just need it so that I can talk to people. But like, I've really gotten into like having a camcorder around that I can just because like a DSLR is what a lot of people shoot on now, but that's like a whole setup. You got to attach the lens and do this. I just like having a camcorder. I just flip on. I can zoom in and out. I don't have to have a certain lens to do that, and it's just like making home movies again, I guess.
Well, and you can also like put it on a stand. Like you can use.
Well, you can put any camera on a stand, I guess. But
Yeah, but yeah, it's versatile, and also like you're saying, the ability to just like flip it open, boom, you got instant hand movement.
flip it on. I have you on video right now, and I can zoom out or. I don't know. It's just it's fun to walk around with a camcorder again. Like when I shot. Okay, so we could talk about this, I guess. Like when we started Just the Clip back when we had that, no one was really doing this yet on our level because I had several people ask how we were doing it, but I was like, we're gonna have video and we're gonna have 3 angles, and so I just went on eBay, and do you remember like when they had like the flip video cameras, or like they had those little like they were called flips,
Oh,
like the main
remember.
brand, but they had a bunch of different knockoffs.
Yeah, shit.
And
What?
they were like, it shoots 1080, and
Yeah, they were like super small little camcordery
They
things.
looked like they were the size of like your phone,
Yeah.
or a little smaller, and then like they shot 1080 video, and it was before cell phones really had like cameras on them,
Right.
before that became a thing. So because cell phones basically made them obsolete, you can go on eBay and buy like 3 flip cameras for like $10 a piece.
What?
Yeah. So I was like, well, I'm going to go buy. I still have them in my apartment. I bought 3 Kodak ZI8s, which allow you to plug a mic into them if you need to, but I didn't. And they record nonstop. They recorded for like, the longest we went was probably like 2 hours at a time, but they never stopped recording. As long as you have an SD card in them that's long enough. $30, and then that's when we were like, oh, hey, like it looked like a professional production because we were just clipping them down to like 720 Twitter, whatever the codec was for the internet at the time, because we were making clips before
Yeah.
I was like, I think we were
Yeah,
a little ahead of the curve on the clips thing, because we were making clips before clips became like the thing, sort of.
Yeah, I would say you guys were definitely onto something. I mean, just even having video at that point, and also multiple angles, like shot, like other than stuff that I was seeing coming out of LA or New York, you were like one of the only people that I saw doing this.
Yeah, and now like it's pretty easy that you can just like take like, okay, so like I have like a 4K DSLR, and if I have a 2-person interview, I just set up the 4K. It captures both of us in a establishing shot, and then all I have to do is zoom in to each one of us through that image to do the one shot, because it's going to be down res to 1080 for the internet
Internet
anyway.
for streaming.
So now it's like, oh, I just do that, and you don't lose any resolution because you're going from 4K to 1080, so you're not like zooming in on, you're not like losing any pixels or whatever. But like for $30 though, you're not gonna get a 4K camera for 30. So to like have a 3 camera setup, for that cheap, I still think it's the way to go. Just because like I'm all about doing it. I find that fascinating. That people are like, this is a great production value. I was like, this cost me $30. Like it's.
What so what is it like on set if you got to do stuff with like fight scenes, choreography, stuff like that? Like how do you set up cameras for that? Like how do you approach like physical movement in the space?
Well, I mean, most films will have like a fight choreographer who's someone who's like trained in that stuff, and it's usually a very very, very planned out sequence. I haven't really done anything too intense other than like, one hit here, 2 hits here, stabbed, or I've worked on horror movies and stuff, but like it's never really been like crazy. So I can't really speak to that, but I know it's very detailed and intense because I mean, there's still stories all the time of like, oh, the actor actually broke my nose in the fight, but we had to still go with it because like, you're told like go to here, but in the moment you might, actually clobber somebody or whatever. But I don't know. We just try to do it as safely as possible because that's like the one rule is to try to be like safety to everyone on set. But
I think that's a solid rule to have when you got a bunch of people in a space. It's like, all right, let's make sure nobody gets fucked up today. Like, let's all agree on that. Like, nobody gets anything dropped on their head. It's like, all right, cool, safety first. Yeah, I always wonder about that because exactly what you're talking about, like people having fight scenes and stuff. Somebody slips, somebody hits somebody. Yeah. I was just reading something the other day where I forget what actor it was, but like they were doing something, accidentally headbutted a guy, busted his eyelid. It's like, oh man.
I mean, Mia Goth is going through a lawsuit now.
Oh really?
Are you familiar with the X and then Pearl, and now they're doing Maxine?
Oh yeah, I have X on Blu-ray. I just haven't watched it yet.
Okay, Pearl's, you got to see Pearl.
That's okay.
Great. Well, watch X first, but then Pearl is the one.
Yeah.
But like Maxine, they're doing Maxine now. I'm excited. Like I liked X, but then I saw Pearl. I was like, I love this. And then, but anyway, apparently she like kicked an extra in the head. And he's like suing the movie, and I'm like, this guy's never gonna work in movies again. He's suing as a background extra, like a actor. But he also claimed that she came in the bathroom and taunted him, which doesn't make any sense to me. But we'll see what happens.
I hope she did.
I assume that maybe he did get hit in the head, and it was completely an accident based on like I have no context for what it is. This is just what the headlines are saying. But like I gotta assume that maybe he did get kicked in the head. It was an accident, and he's just trying to get some kind of settlement or something.
No, I believe him. First of all, he's the victim here.
Yeah.
She kicked him.
But no movie set's going to have the actress alone with a extra in the bathroom.
That's exactly what happened. She yelled at him. She told him, get back out there. If you were a fucking real man, you would have actually taken that. And then, she walked out. So I hope he gets his payday. Obviously, this guy's in the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good luck, champ.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, the weirdest thing is the only people that are dissing Mia Goth online that I've seen are like, well, she did have a kid with Shia LaBeouf, so we can't trust her. And I'm like, dog, really?
It's like, look, I mean, judgment.
We know that guy's character, and I'm like, I kind of like him too. But
okay, so other scenes, sex scenes, like how do people handle kissing? Like, how does that work?
Dude, I worked on, so I did audio for a Halloween fan film that my friend then got to go off and work for Rob Zombie.
Hell yeah,
which is really cool.
Nice.
So we all got invited down because we made a film here. It was called Mannequin and Static. And it was all right, I guess. It was kind of like an artsy horror. I don't know what you call it. But like, he got asked to direct this thing. So this guy built a replica Michael Myers house in North Carolina.
Hell yeah,
It's
dude.
like a huge, and Halloween is like my favorite horror film.
Nice.
Because I almost was like, oh, come on and talk about that. But then I'm like, no, I don't know enough. Like someone else will know some nerd trivia. But like, I just think like that's another movie for how effective that movie is for how cheaply it was done and how simplistic. Like, I just love it. So like, we go down there because I'm like, yeah, I'm coming. I'm going to North Carolina for sure. Like to be a part of a Halloween thing. Hell yeah. So we do this short film, Judith, and it's about the night where his sister gets killed. And at the beginning of the movie, it's kind of like a prequel to the movie, sort of.
Okay.
Like a fan, because the guy who owns the house was like a huge Halloween.
Of course.
Nerd. Rob Zombie apparently had been to the house, so he knew him, and he's like, yeah, he gave his, I'm like, we don't need his permission to make it, but yeah, sure. Like, he's not John Carpenter, but whatever. And like,
Wait, hold on.
and also, you can make fan films, but like,
We got to get Rob Zombie's permission. We got to get him off the Dragula for a minute.
well, because they also tried to sell me like they might put it on like the 30th anniversary DVDs, and I'm like, dude, I'm already in. I just want to come do this.
Yeah, you already have. I'm on
Yeah,
board.
I want to do it. Like,
yeah.
go to hell yeah. So I don't think the lady that lived there liked me because I ate cereal in the living room. But anyway, it was they said make yourself at home, and then they get mad when you don't eat at the table. But we had the scene from the beginning of Halloween because it ends where the first movie starts, where he puts on the mask at the end, walks upstairs, stabs his sister, and then goes and answers the door. Well, he walks out and the parents are like, Michael, but like
Right.
we had him like answer the door for trick-or-treaters or whatever.
Okay.
That's like how ours ended.
Cool.
I don't know. But so we had to do the scene where the lady, where like Judith has to be topless. She's brushing her hair in the mirror, and she's and you're gonna get stabbed, and we're gonna throw blood on you, and I don't know. It was just really awkward because she just sat topless for like, I don't know, 4 hours.
Just let him swing
Because
for
a lot
4
of
hours.
setting up and like changing shots, and then we're just sitting there because I'm just the boom guy. So me and the sound recordist are just like sitting there with her on the bed, like holding the, and I'm trying to be like I don't know. I assume you just act normal.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah. And then my friend just goes, yeah, you have really nice boobs, by the way. And then I'm like, what the fuck, man? You can't say that. And she's like, oh, thank you. I'm just glad someone said something. I'm like, oh, we're supposed to. And he's like, I just mean like they could have been weird looking, or I don't know. Like he was clearly just like felt really awkward. But it like broke the tension. Everyone's like, yeah, it's cool. It's just bodies, whatever. It's like, but yeah, I don't know. That was my first experience of dealing with like nudity in my like face on a closed set sort of thing. And I was really awkward about it just because I didn't know how I was supposed to act, because no one really prepares you for that, I feel like.
I ran into that with figure drawing when they bring in the nude models and you got to draw them. And it's like, all right, this is a thing. Like, it's happening right now. And it's weird because, like, even if they are hot, it's not sexual just because it's, like, it's very serious. And, like, I kind of figure, like, at some point, too, on the set, be the same way because it's, like, there's the initial, like, oh, hey. But then it's just kind of like, all right, like, nobody's coming on to me here. Everybody's just kind of hanging out. Like, this is the job. Whatever.
Yeah. That's what he meant also by the nice, but he wasn't trying to be creepy. Yeah. He's just saying, like,
yeah, I mean, honestly, hey.
They look good on screen. We're having a good time. Like, it was just awkwardness, I guess. Like, it was, had no sexual. None of us felt sexual about it at all. And it was, I don't know. It was a good experience. I thought it was a fun time.
Thanks, lady, for not having weird tits.
Yeah. Well, because we didn't make that a prerequisite. Like, we have to see her tits.
We got to see
this
them.
movie.
I mean,
we just
hey,
gave the
if you
part
want
to
to do
the
the
best
movie,
actress, and she agreed that when the time, which I guess is dicey because I've heard stories of people giving actresses the part and saying like there is nudity, and they're like, yeah, that's fine. And then when it comes time to do the scene on set, they're like, oh no, and they're like, you knew this was going to be a thing, but.
No, you hired the best person for the job, both acting-wise and willing to dump them out, and it turned out pretty good.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. I couldn't write a movie with nudity because I don't know how I could ask someone to, like, get naked for me. But, like, that's also another indie Like if you
Yeah.
watch any like trauma movies,
Yeah.
they're all like, we're gonna sell this by throwing in a lot of tits and bush and just all this stuff. Like I watched a Friends movie they worked on. It's called "Don't Fuck in the Woods," and I mean, I don't know what you don't see of this girl. It's like,
Like Kaufman's like, look, this is what we deal in.
yeah, like there's a full beaver shot based. I don't know, like a Basic Instinct style. I don't know how much they showed in that. I haven't seen that either. But
Is that what they're called in the industry? Is it a beaver shot? Like,
I just know there was a parody movie of Basic Instinct, and they did gratuitous beaver shot, and it was just a beaver
I remember that.
when in the chair. When
In
she
the
turned
chair,
around.
yeah. Would you work? Would you have would you try to work that into one of your movies? Would you have had the balls to be like, oh, by the way,
We got to show your open vagina. No, that's just porn at that point.
what if it
Which
makes? What if
I've
it?
had a
What
lot
if it
of
makes?
friends that
What
are
if it
like,
makes
"You
sense
know, we
in
could
the
just make a
story?
porno." I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Like, no, I'm here to make art.
Well, I mean, there were so many people that like we could just get. I mean, I get it. There's money to be made, but like, I don't know. I just something. I'll watch it, but I'm not gonna make it.
You're in the Halloween house. You have respect for the game. So
I don't know how to. I'm not opposed. I guess I just act opposed to it until like someone really made me a good deal. I'm like, all right, I'll do it.
somebody gives you a check. Somebody's like, hey, I had this dream.
It's not a prude thing. It's just an awkwardness thing. Like, no, I don't want to explain that to people.
Definitely run into this before at Comic Cons where people will ask you if you'll draw things, and then you have to make the decision if you actually will draw that thing or not. Yeah, there's some stuff out there where people want some very specific things. Yeah, I like my buddy Jamie has drawn some very interesting
Yeah.
stuff for people. Yeah, and I one time ran into a guy that told us that the hottest thing he ever saw at a con was a pregnant woman cosplaying as the Predator.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, man, cool. Like, that guy's out there in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he had money. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's like the $1 Million Man said, everybody has a price.
What's that? It's not Comic Con, but like anime conventions. What's that term? It's like
Hentai?
waifu or
Oh, like the girl.
wife? What is it?
I don't know, like the hentai girls where they're like very bubbly and excited to be
Yeah,
there.
yeah. But there's like I don't know what it stands for, or if it's a term, but it's like WAIFU.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
But I don't know enough about it. I don't know why I brought it up. My brother used to go to anime conventions. He's very asexual as far as we know. So I'm always like, what's he really doing at those anime? Like, because then I hear they're all freaks. So I'm like, what is it?
Does he really dislike the cartoons?
Maybe, but I don't see him watching them that much. That's why I'm wondering.
That's
But,
what you're like. What are you doing there?
yeah, like I was like worried about my daughter because she like was obsessed with anime. Like she still is, but she just loves the shit. But then she was also like obsessed with like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh yeah.
And this stuff. And then she's a really good artist and animator, and she can like, which is crazy that she was doing it at such a young age. But I would find all these drawings, and they would be like shipping these different like animatronic, and I'm like, is she gonna be a furry? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, start like questioning because they like create like relationships and romantic interests for all these characters and stuff, and you're like, what's going on?
I had a roommate that was into this where like him and his girlfriend would like draw pictures of each other as like furries. And when I lived with them, like they didn't have suits or anything, but like they did have like, that was their things. Like they would trade pictures back and forth to them in like furry form. Yeah. And it's just like, all right, man.
I don't knock it. I've been to a Comic-Con where people are dressed up as furry. It's fine. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. No, the first time you like,
It's not hurting anybody, so go for it. I just like
it's
newer to me, I guess.
No, for sure. No, it is one of those things where it's like seeing a giraffe in the middle of Chicago, you know, where it's just like, if it's at a Comic-Con, it makes sense. But if you're like on the street and somebody is like in a full on mascot uniform, it's like, okay, whoa, what the fuck? Like you go into like a Jimmy John's to get a sandwich and there's some dude in there dressed up like a dog. It's like, okay, man, let's take a minute. Just, it's not something you see every day.
Because I tried to make this joke before. It's not really a joke. It's more just a smart ass question, I guess, because I'm an asshole. But like, so when someone goes like, "I'm pansexual," and they're like pansexual means I love, and I'm like, oh, so you like furries? And they're like, no, what are you doing? Like, so I'm like, so why is that the one thing where you're like, well, no, I'm not. Then what are we talking about?
Yeah. Hey, if you're not really paying,
And I'm all for being pansexual. I'm not trying to diminish it. It's just me being a smartass to my friends who, it's just me.
have any of them took the leap to be like, you know what, you called me out on my
But you
shit?
might. I mean, I don't know. I could be into it too. I've just never tried it. I don't know.
Do you think there's a furry you would lean towards?
Don't they all feel the same? I don't.
Do you, do you,
I mean, they look cuddly. I'll give them that.
mean, do you
It
like-
looks very cuddly.
okay, that's. But do you think a certain animal, like, do you have a thing for wolves?
It's a really awkward time for me to ask for a bathroom break.
All right, so back in from furry talk, let's transition into this. Special effects. Like, I couldn't imagine building a furry costume. I also couldn't imagine doing special effects for a film. How do you plot shit? How does this work?
Well, I've done visual effects, but I've never. I guess I have done some special effects, like practical, but like that's a whole other skill set. That's like, a whole thing. But now with like, ever since the internet's been a thing, you can just look up like, how do I pull this off? And someone will show you how to do it, which is cool. But there used to be like the old trauma way where they were like, oh, just paint a face on a cantaloupe and fill it with a bunch of fake blood and run over it with a car. And it'll be someone's head that got smashed or whatever. Like,
Back when Americans cared about filmmaking.
so like Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who created South Park.
Yes, their first film through
Cannibal,
trauma.
yeah. But
yes,
he talks about how he used to like make his friends do movies, and he's like, no, just spit up ketchup, it's fine. They're like, this doesn't look real. And he's like, it's fine. Trauma does it all the time. It's fine. And I found like, yeah, like if you have a good story, people will overlook that stuff. Like but when you pull it off really cool, it's really cool when you do it well.
Cannibal the Musical has my favorite director's track of all time, where it's all of them sitting around drinking, watching the film, and then at one point they leave and like go smoke weed in their room, and then they come back in. And they're like, it's still going, and they're talking about going to a strip club, and like the last like pretty much like 10 minutes is just them being like, all right, which one are we gonna go to, and like trying to figure out which strip club to hit up.
I feel like I've seen that, but it was forever ago. I can't remember because I get it confused with. I had a DVD of like No Effects, like 10 years of fucking up or something, and they had the Vandals doing commentary on the No Effects' commentary. And it was also kind of just like them fucking. And
That's hilarious.
yeah, it was. Man, the Vandals are so funny. I don't know what happened to them, but that's another topic. Yeah, special effects. I mean, like, especially with the stuff now, doing it in computers becoming a lot like stuff I can do with After Effects that I never thought I would be capable of doing, thanks to the help of people just putting tutorials on the internet is really cool.
Yeah, the ability now with the internet to learn stuff is just so far beyond what we had before with libraries, where it's like you could read shit and maybe you get lucky and you'd find some books that like had an image of it and you could like follow along that way. Like you're like, okay, it should look like this at this point. But now we just like have full on video people being like, hey, this is how you do this. Follow this along.
Well, I remember I pissed off my video teacher because he like when I was in college. It was like I got an associate's from Cincinnati State in the audio video program. But I was there from like 2006 to 2008 or something like that. And it was like right when the internet was kind of like becoming more like YouTube, I think started in 2005 or I don't know, 7, whatever. But I just remember like he was like, go home and read your books and learn how to do the Pleasantville effect, which is just to isolate like one color, like make it like how Sin City, it was like everything was black and white and then there'd be like one thing in color. And I just remember Googling it, and it was immediately like, do this, and I just like, boop, boop, boop. And he was like, how did you do that already? He's like, oh, I just Googled it, and he was like it set him off.
You can't use Google.
Mad. Yeah, it's like,
how dare you
cheated.
research? How dare you research something?
And then now I'm like, do we even need college? You can just go, like, unless you want to be like a lawyer or a doctor or a scientist, you just learn everything online. I mean, like, that's the guy who works with Rob Zombie now. Instead of going to college, he just bought a camera and shit and then asked me and my buddy who went to college to help him learn how to use it. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, especially with like art stuff where it's like if I come out, if I don't have this degree, like what will happen? You know, what I'm trying to make a living. Yeah, now it's like what was once behind a paywall, you can now get to.
Right.
You know, whereas before, back in the day, like if you wanted to learn how to use good cameras, or if you wanted to learn how to do cool art stuff, like college is definitely a way to go
Yeah.
to learn that. But now with the internet and YouTube and other online resources and online courses you can take, you can really learn whatever you want to learn. And that's cool. Like that's cool that we're at a time in human history where like you can literally jump on this fucking thing where and you could be like, I want to learn whatever. And it's like, cool, you can do that.
Yeah. I just started teaching myself Blender. You know what that is?
Yep.
Yeah. Just through YouTube videos.
Yeah, and you can follow along with it. I'm working right now. I'm doing a thing where I'm taking a course on Illustrator because I've never
Nice.
been trained on Illustrator, and then also it's Photoshop on the back end of it, which I've done Photoshop forever, but I was self-taught because I was doing illustration shit. So I know how to use Photoshop for me, but I don't know how to use Photoshop in the big scheme of things of like if I had to put
Right.
together like an ad for a like a magazine or something where I'm like, hey, I got to like bring in a photo and all this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. I use Photoshop for me, but I love Illustrator. That's like one of my favorite programs as far as like designing and drawing stuff.
Yeah. Well, and then this is all leading to then me taking another course in After Effects and
Okay,
learning how
yeah.
to use all this together to create animated stuff.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you where it's like always keep learning, especially in creative fields. It's like you should always keep learning how to create new things.
Well, like when we were in school, we were taught Maya, which was another 3D rendering program. And I assume it's still around, but I don't hear anyone talk about it as much, and it's expensive to buy it.
Yeah.
Or it was. And now it's been so long, I'm like, I probably wouldn't even remember half of the stuff I learned. So I was like, Blender's free. A lot of people are using it. I'm just going to teach myself now
Yep.
how to use it so I know how to use this one. And then, so that's kind of what I've been doing.
And they're a tool in your tool belt. Yeah, man, it's good. It's a good thing to do, and just again,
Yeah.
it just keeps you relevant in the time when you can make shit.
But with filmmaking specifically, and maybe this could apply to art, probably. I don't mean to, but like, it costs how much to go to college? Like thousands of dollars. You know?
Yeah.
What if you took that money and just made a movie? Would it be the same learning experience? I mean, like, and then you'd have a finished product under your belt.
That's true. I mean, you're basically doing your own project, and in that case, it's like I think it's especially it depends on that age the person's at the time. Because I will say that for something like filmmaking or other stuff, like college does offer a level of guidance where
Yeah.
you're going to be introduced to somebody who is good at what they do. Some professors yes, some professors no, but chances are you're going to run into somebody who like knows way more than you, can put you in a path, help you with stuff. Definitely that could happen. At the same time, if you give like a 18 to 20-year-old just like 20 grand and like make a movie, can they get it done? Some can, some can't. But you would also have to be very self-driven, and you would have to be able to
Right.
make things work.
But if you
But-
put $5,000 into a camera setup and went out and shot stuff,
Then it's yours.
you can, learn that way too.
Yeah. No, I think both are valid routes because if you get the right kid in both the situations, they can both really shine.
Yeah. I always wonder, like, what if I did it that way? But
Yeah.
like, I have friends I've made that are like lifelong friends, and I know I can always count on them if I do need something or need help on a project. So like, you get that aspect of it, and I did have some good teachers. I also had teachers that didn't care and were like, read the
Right.
book. The book will tell you. What do you want
Right.
me
Which
to
is
tell you?
it's terrible. It's like no, the whole point of you being here is to talk about the book, and well, not just that, but just like impart knowledge, help me critique what I'm doing, how to make it better.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to improve here. Also trying to get something from you. That's the whole point.
Right.
That you're supposed to be imparting knowledge. So, make with the fucking brains. Let's go. What about like when you wrap what about like wrapping things up? Like you're done shooting. What's that feel like?
Great.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's nothing better than hearing that's a wrap. I feel like after work, like even just short stuff, like can't tell you how many like just little sketches we started like 9 in the morning. We're like, it'll only be a couple hours. The next thing I know, it's like 6 o'clock, and I'm like, we were supposed to be done at noon.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, sometimes it's fun because you start thinking of other stuff, and you're like, oh, what if we got a shot like this, or what if we did this, what if we added this in? But like, yeah, it's just very satisfying to be like, that's a wrap. And then editing's just a whole other monster that can suck the energy out of you sometimes, I feel like.
Oh, what's that like? We're like having to like line up again, continuity and all that shit too, on top of just figuring out where to put things.
Yeah, I used to love editing, and I would do it all the time. I've gotten to edit some really cool stuff, and I've had fun with it. And now I took like a break from it, and now it's like one of the hardest things
Really?
to do. Like I can't decide on what takes to use. What like it's like I overthink everything. I'm like, well, this take or that take, but like, well, what if I'm making the wrong choice? What if this take? Like, and I'm like, how did I do this before? But that's just a mental thing.
Yeah, it's that's sometimes tough to get through. Where you're just like you start overthinking your process and what you do, and you're just like, this isn't working. Why is this not working?
External deadlines help me a lot.
Really?
I find that that's my problem. Like, if I'm just working on something to my own standards, I'll sit and mess with it, put it off, and then look back at it and mess and be like, I don't know, because I can't decide between. But if someone's like, I need this by Tuesday, it'll be done by Tuesday.
It's in and out the door.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because it's your art versus a job, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like this thing that you're making you care about and you're putting your name on it and you want it to be as perfect as you can make it be.
But once other people are relying on me, even if I tell someone like it's going to be done this day, I'm going to make it done that day because I don't want them to think I'm a flake or like not
exactly
my word or whatever. Yeah.
Right. And at the same time, you also had that thing where like it's different in terms of like it's somebody else's stuff and you're not judging it through the same lens that you're judging your own work.
No, even my own stuff. Like if someone's like, hey, when's that sketch you made coming out? If I give someone else the exact date, I find it easier to stick to that.
Okay.
And if I'm just holding myself to my own, I'll fuck myself over all day long.
Okay. So like partners on stuff that you're working on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even to that, but it's like I always need that external
catalyst to drive
like
that.
being like, I'm gonna hate you if you don't. And then I'm like, yeah, it's coming. Like I don't know what that is because it's like I can't keep a promise to myself, but I can do it for other people.
Interesting. I mean, maybe that's this thing like you just don't want to let anybody down.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and maybe it's easier where it's like you're willing to let yourself down, but not other people.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
pretty much.
I mean, stop beating yourself up, but it's an admirable trait that you're trying to help other people.
Procrastination's been a problem for a lot. Like I had it in college. Like if a project was due, it was going to take me to like 2 a.m. the night before, where I was going to really just hammer it out. Like I was the last minute. It's all procrastination, anxiety, hating yourself. It's all that. I don't know.
I thought we were going to have a fun, happy
In
podcast.
the words of Shia LaBeouf, just do it. You know, it's not to bring him up again, but
I was going to ask twice now. Are you going to roll a 3? We'll see what happens. So, okay. So after you've made it, then where and how do you let it go out in the world? Like, how does it work for indie films to like go on streaming or find their way onto the internet, YouTube? But how does it work?
Well, I mean, anyone can really submit to anything, sort of, but there are things out there that help. Like back in the, I don't know if DistroKid's still a thing and stuff, but like there's like Film Hub, which you can like sign up with them and they'll send your thing out to like every like they do all the work for you, and then like you can get on platforms like I feel like Tubi's very indie filmmaking friendly. Like Amazon Prime, I'm pretty sure, I don't know how it is now because I know they've changed some rules, because at one point that was when I first had Prime, like I could find so many.
There was so much crazy shit on Prime.
Crazy movies. And now it's more like you can put your movie on there to rent or buy, but they're not going to like they have a more, I think.
Amazon Prime was by far my favorite streaming service for a while because not just for their, which I like some of their original content, but then also that whole aspect where I could find like all sorts of weird B movies and off kilter shit. And even to this day, like I'm subscribed to Shudder, and to run Shudder, I have to go through my Amazon Prime app to get to it on my PS5.
Yeah.
Because for some reason PS5 doesn't have a Shudder app, so but Amazon Prime will allow me to piggyback to get to it.
But I don't think that's the best way to view Shudder, is it?
Well, it's the only way I can view it on my TV.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still paying Shudder money. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, I did it through Amazon, but unless you type in the exact movie title,
Oh, yeah.
you can't always find it. And I found out when I had the regular Shudder app, the search was a lot.
It was a lot better.
bigger.
Oh, well, fuck.
So that might be something you want to look into. I don't know, but
All right. Now I'm bummed. Now I feel like I'm not getting everything I want to get out of
I don't
Shudder.
know. Maybe it's changed, but this is how I felt a few years ago or whenever it was. But
Fair enough. But yes, agree. Amazon Prime is a home of cool, weird shit.
it was. They started
Yes.
cracking down, like
Yeah.
creating more of a bar that you had to get through to. But like Netflix, before everything went to streaming,
Yeah.
you could get any movie through the DVD cert, like anything, and that ruled because I could find the most obscure, weirdo, anything that someone put on DVD and submitted to Netflix. You could rent it.
I would love to see like what their warehouses look like at some point.
Well,
Like,
I think at the end it ended not too long ago,
yeah, no, it was going for a while.
and they did a thing where you could just keep. They were just like, all right, just
Keep
they were
the
just
disc?
sending them and letting people keep them because they. I mean, I dated a girl. I'm not proud of this, but like she had like just so many Netflix back in this is like 2010. She had so many just Netflix movies, and I was like, "What the hell?" She's like, "Oh, I just tell them they got lost in the mail." I was like, "You don't think they're gonna?" She's like, "They never gave a shit." She just would lie, be like, "Yeah, I didn't get it," and then just keep them. And I'm like, "What the?" She had masked so many movies. She just stole from.
What, man? And how did you not wife that woman up?
I don't know, because she had a heroin problem, but
Okay, well,
that was later. But yeah,
well, that was the whole thing. Eventually, she had to sell the Netflix disc for the heroin.
yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
I should have known she had an addiction, but yeah, I don't know. That was another great time for indie filmmakers because Netflix was paying a lot of money at that point. And now I think, like, I don't know how much you get paid per streams, but I know with like Spotify,
Yeah.
artists are getting really ripped
yeah,
off.
nobody's getting paid money now. Yeah. And that sucks.
And a lot of people are just going back to YouTube because they're like, just run ads on my YouTube thing, get paid that way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, YouTube. I found some cool stuff on YouTube. I found the Never Hike Alone series where they made like a sequel to Jason movies. It's super cool and it's a good short. I've seen
I have to check that out.
yeah, I've seen a few other cool stuff on there. Like somebody did like a short of Terminator, but like in the future, like like living in the Terminator world where all the T-800s are just in skeletal form and running around, and hunter killers are flying and all that shit.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun that like people are making that kind of stuff.
That's the thing I don't understand though, is the fan films, because I mean, I know I worked on one, but like some of these have like just really high production quality.
It's crazy.
Choreography, like everything. And I'm like, you can't make money off this because it's not your property. Like you can only put it out for free. How did you produce this?
It's dude, it's the nerd love of the game.
Yeah.
It's like I've seen a thing that was something like Batman versus aliens, and it's Batman on top of a skyscraper building versus aliens, you know, and like dudes are wearing the suits and shit. And
Well,
it's just like,
isn't the copyright going to expire on Batman soon?
oh, the way it did on Steamboat Willie.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I think it's like 10 years. Maybe I may be making this up, but
Batman's gonna be in the public domain.
I don't know, because I think the companies find a way to keep renewing the copyright, but
I would think so.
it's got to be up there because Batman was like, what was it, the
30s,
40s or
30s or 40s, yeah,
30s
something
maybe.
like there. Yeah, he's been out there for a while.
Yeah, that would be awesome to start seeing some wild Batman stuff, but made just by like anybody.
Yeah, just put out whatever you want. It's totally
Which is
fine.
kind of like what Warner Brothers was already ruining it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. You can make a lot of Batman stuff now. Some of it good, some of it not so good. Did you like the last Batman movie? Did you like?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I know some people don't, but I loved it. I thought it was the best Batman movie I've seen.
Well, no, a number one Batman movie.
Do what?
This is your a number one Batman movie.
Man, it's hard. Like, I do think it. I just loved everything about it. I don't know. I loved the detective work of it. I loved the Fincher-ness of it. The crime. I just.
Yeah, I think they did nail like the dark tone of Batman and
Yeah.
like with like constant rain and stuff. It's dark, it's bleak. The whole just again like you're saying the detective thing, the fact that like the Riddler was like unsettling looking.
Yeah.
Like they definitely lean into the horror side of thing, which is something they really haven't. They've done a little bit in the past in various Batman movies, but nothing to that level where it was like this is dark.
And I get everyone will say The Dark Knight, but that's a Joker movie. That's not a Batman movie.
Yeah. Well, that's which is really good and a lot of fun. Well, look, man. Like, was there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't hit upon tonight before we get out of here?
No, not really. I don't know. I was wondering like if it'd be worth it to like make tutorials on like cheap gear. If like that would be interesting or not.
That'd be cool.
Cuz that's what I'm more about is like how to do this for the least amount of money possible. Like I bought like a $500 mic for booming indoors because everyone was like, "This is the mic to get it." Rule, and I had the money, so I was like, "All right, I'm gonna buy it." And then I just happened to buy like a $60 condenser mic made by Behringer. I don't know if you're familiar with that brand, but they're known for being like cheap audio, whatever.
Okay.
And I put them side by side just for fun and sent it to my friend who's like a sound engineer, and he picked he was like, the Behringer sounds better. So
Really?
I returned the 500, and now I record with a $60 mic, and no one knows the difference.
Nice.
And I just that's the part of it I find fascinating because everyone's like, you gotta buy this, you gotta buy, and I'm like, no, I'm doing it with a $60 mic and a $10 camera.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
There's just so much stuff out there, but you're taking the time to dig and to see what it is.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that just don't know what they're looking at or what they need or what it is. And, I think that's something that we all experience on some level. We're like, like I'm not a car guy. Like it took me forever to figure out like what car to buy, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm supposed to need or want or all that. And I think people get that way too with like audio and visual stuff, like electronic stuff. People are just like, I don't know what I need. I did a podcast a few episodes ago with my buddy Justin Tyler. We talked about this, about like, people that buy home audio stuff or people that buy like TVs and they don't know what they want or how any of it works. And they just kind of freak out and they're like, and they just throw their money at something.
Right.
Whereas you're on the flip of it, but you're like, no, I'm trying to figure out like what is the best thing, like what really does work. And that's cool that you like want to share that knowledge with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also, I totally forgot to bring up the one thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned
Okay.
when we were talking about this. But, the conversation got into furries. I got distracted. But this isn't, but like, so there was this movement in 1995 called Dogma 95. It was a Danish film movement with Thomas Vinterberg and Lars von Trier,
Okay.
who I'm a big fan of. Thomas Vinterberg most recently made Another Round, if you saw that movie.
No.
Okay, it's pretty good.
Okay.
But and then Lars von Trier recently made The House That Jack Built, which is that movie rules. But they started this movement in 95 called the Dogma 95. And it was like all these rules for making a film that was like the punk rock sort of movement. How like they're like, punk rock was like, we need to make this accessible to anyone, so we're gonna play chords, and it's not gonna, it's against like the big hair bands and all the solos and shit.
Right.
So like, they kind of did the same thing. Like, we're gonna focus on story, and we don't need all the special effects or this. Like, we're gonna use natural lighting. We're not gonna make movies this way. And a couple of them were shot on just cheap. I mean, some they shot on film, but some were shot on cheap cameras, and it's just another cool thing where I'm like, these movies are great. And they did them totally bare bones as far back as like the 90s. I mean,
That is very cool that like they were like, look, here's the guidelines. Like if you do this, it'll work.
yeah.
And having that as a Bible or something where you can kind of base stuff on, it's like, okay, cool. And now at least I got a way to go. And yeah, and then at the same time, like again, like you're talking about with the storytelling where it's like, look, we're gonna put our strengths front and center and make it work, and the weakness stuff will just kind of hide in the back.
Yeah. And it's funny because punk was what made me want to be a musician because I like loved punk music. And then I realized like when I first went to school and I was like, yeah, I learned how to play this punk song on the guitar. And everyone's like, well, duh, punk songs are easy. I was like, I didn't know that. I just like the music. But like, I think it's cool. And then they were like, no, we need to show that like anyone can make a film. You don't need Hollywood money or this or that or that. But then that's the problem is that it's like a dichotomy thing of like, oh, it's great. Anyone can do this. Oh, this sucks. Anyone can do this. So I don't know.
How many bad films do you think you've seen?
That's what I'm really into. I love bad stuff. I feel like, yeah, because people are like, I thought you were a film buff. And when I haven't seen like, the Top Gun movies, but I'm like, yeah, but let me tell you about the hundreds of bad movies that no one would waste their time watching that I've sat through and watched.
Oh man, we got to get you and Jamie in contact with each other. My man, he loves a bad movie. I like a bad movie. Jamie loves just dog shit movies. But I say it in the nicest way possible because.
Yeah. But there's ones that are bad that are so bad they're good though too, and then there's bad that's just bad.
Yes, and yes across both. This is the same thing with like heavy metal or any form of loud music where it's like when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's really fucking bad.
Yeah,
like it sucks. It's like ugh. but it can also be bad where it's really good. Yeah, very very much so. Yeah, I enjoy film that you can laugh at. That like I'm a MST3K fan, so like anything.
My girlfriend watches that nonstop. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, just that's the kind of thing I'm like, all right, this is shit I find funny. So yeah, right there with you on that. Well,
can I make a rec?
Yeah.
Have you seen Hard Ticket to Hawaii?
No. Wait, is
There's
that is what's his name from Blade Runner and then Hobo with a Shotgun?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm talking about Rucker Howard.
I don't think he's in that.
Okay. There's like some other Rucker Howard thing that kind of sounds like that where like he's like blind and he fucks dudes up.
Oh no, I don't know anybody involved in this movie. It's just insanely hilarious. And I mean, it's not trying to be a great movie, but it actually is very funny. We watched it on a whim, and my girlfriend bought it on DVD because she thought it was the funniest thing she'd ever seen. But it's got a lot going on. There's tits, explosions, a snake that ate cancer-infested rats, so it's evil for some reason. Like it's just, it's a good time.
This sounds amazing. Is there gunplay?
Oh yeah,
hell yeah, dude. Oh,
it's rocket launcher. It's a lot of fun stuff. Great theme song. It's a good time.
Wow. All right. I'm in. Sold and gonna try to find it online. Well, look. What's the future look like? Like, is there anything that you're wanting to make going forward, or like, is there any place that you're wanting to shoot? Like, what do you want to make?
My goal this year is to make 2 short films that I'd like to make. I mean, I have featured scripts, but I'm not gonna, rush into that. I would like to finally be able to say I made this on something, but I think a good goal for this year, I've made sketches. I like to shoot those. They're just funny shit with my friends, other comics, but like this year I want to actually like shoot something that I'm like, this is a short film, not just a sketch. It is a thing. And then, if those don't make me want to kill myself, then I'll shoot towards a feature.
All right. So,
but I think that's an easier goal to obtain is like, the 2 shorts.
Yeah, no, 100%. I do think it is an easier thing to be like, all right, attainable goals, things that are shorter, that aren't as draining of energy and time. If there are any mistakes I have to learn from, then it'll happen here in way more condensed space before I have to commit to like a big, huge thing.
And it's much easier to get feedback on a short film and then be like, have people like, you know, then to put out a feature and everyone be like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm like, okay. Because at least, I think it's something. If you want to go out and make a feature, go for it. But I think it's also a good idea to work up to it by, you know, working on shorter stuff and building increments like you do kind of. I mean, I don't know. It's also a stand-up thing. You work at a tight 5, then 10, then 15, then a half hour or whatever. It's kind of how I want to go. I want to like make a short and then make a little bit longer short. And then maybe I can make a feature now because I did this. Also, it's something you can show people to get them involved in the feature. You'd be like, well, this is what I made. And they're like, oh, that's good. Okay, I'll work on your.
Are you wanting to do comedy stuff, or are you wanting to do dramas, like horror stuff? Like, what are you trying to make?
It's all of it. That's why when I decided to create this quaint volcano thing, I didn't want it to be like blah, blah, blah comedy or blah, blah, because I was like, I want it to encompass just everything because I have more interest outside of just, but a lot of stuff I do is comedy related. But I want to be able to like make maybe a drama or a horror and still have it be like a quaint volcano production thing. So it's kind of open to whatever.
That's cool. I like that. I like the fact that you're not limiting what you can make.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see if I do it.
Okay. Well, I'm pulling for you, man. I feel like you got a shot at this. I mean, you've expressed it. You've come on a podcast and talked about it. Like you've put it out into the public.
Yeah. The first one is a pretty dark comedy, but man, I really want to make it. And I don't know if it's going to be like fucked up or if people are going to really like it, but like, I'm excited to make it and just see what happens.
Dude, just fucking do it. Make the thing and yeah, let it fall where it falls.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well, hey, let people know where they can find you out online.
I never get on Facebook. I'm on Instagram at Jerome Jerums. That's just me. But I put out most of my stuff under Quaint Volcano, which is spelled just like the words Quaint Volcano. And it's on Instagram. There's a TikTok. I don't have a Jeremy TikTok, just a Quaint Volcano TikTok. There's not much on the TikTok yet, but hopefully this year there will be, more stuff. But that's the two places you can find me.
Definitely give the Quaint Volcano
and YouTube,
stuff.
YouTube.
Yeah, hell yeah, YouTube. Yeah, Quaint Volcano and YouTube. Yeah, definitely give the Quaint Volcano stuff a follow. Like it's fun. Like I look forward to seeing your shit pop up like in my feed. I always sit down and watch them. Like you're making some cool stuff.
People that see it do always tell me they really like it, but I don't know how to get more people to see it. Yeah, thank you.
That is the problem of Instagram and everything else. Where it's like you got to throw more money at it. Like, hey, let me show what I'm making because the algorithm is very squeezing and holding on to everything.
Yeah, I hate TikTok and Instagram. I like Instagram, but I hate that now everything's like you got to format it to the phone screen because that's not what I got into video to shoot
right
at this. So that's a little bit of a hassle. But I'm on all the video centric platforms.
Nice. Listener, if I may add Neil to know on Instagram, my link tree's there, link out to everything else. If you got a friend that's into filmmaking, share the episode with them, text it to them, let them know about it. I got over 150 episodes in the can at this point. Each one's a different topic. They're all evergreens. You can jump in and out whenever you want to check out an episode. So thanks for listening to what you into. Jeremy, man, thanks for coming on, man. I had a blast talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Cool. Listener, peace.